Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission, as always, is to take this huge stack of fascinating sources, articles, research, all our notes, and really distill them down.
Yep.
Get you those potent nuggets of knowledge, those insights. Think of it as your shortcut, your express lane to being genuinely well-informed, minus the overload.
Right, we're aiming for those aha moments, the things that stick.
Exactly.
And today's deep dive, well, it isn't just some fleeting whisper, this trend. It feels different.
Yeah.
It's got this undeniable gravitas, almost like a royal decree,
Ooh, I like that. A royal decree.
It demands attention, maybe even, dare I say, allegiance.
Mhm.
It feels like a real force.
It really does. We're talking about something truly magnificent today, something steeped in grandeur, history, but somehow feeling incredibly fresh. We're talking Château-core.
Or Castlecore, if you prefer.
Right, Castlecore, same idea. This aesthetic, it's not just asking for attention. It feels like it's commanding it, poised to reign supreme through 2025. So today we're going to unpack exactly what this is, why it's dominating, everything from runways to your social feeds, how pop culture fueled its rise, what it looks like on the catwalk, in street style.
And its luxury appeal, which is significant.
And definitely. And crucially, how you can make it your own. Because let's be honest, if you're not talking about Château-core right now...
What are you talking about?
Exactly. It feels like it's becoming the conversation.
It really is. So to define it, Château-core is essentially a highly romanticized take on medieval life.
Okay.
But let's be super clear. This is not some dusty historical reenactment.
Right. No LARPing involved.
No, definitely not. Laughs. It's medieval reimagined, filtered meticulously through the lens of high fashion.
So less gritty reality, more fairy tale.
Think Beauty and the Beast, but give it a crude twist. It's about selecting the opulent bits, the dreamlike elements, and making them modern, aspirational.
Okay, so we're talking peak opulence. Grandeur. Tapestries telling tales, chandeliers glittering. That sort of idealized vision.
Yeah.
Not muddy battlefields.
Precisely. Forget the mud. Think opulent halls. It draws heavily from medieval, Gothic, even Victorian aesthetics, but always focusing on those grand spaces. Ballrooms, manors.
Aristocracy.
Exactly. As one source put it, who wants to lounge in a hovel when you can preside over a castle? It's about curated beauty, timeless elegance, romance, historical accuracy. Not the point.
That makes total sense. So what is it about now? Why is this trend so, utterly irresistible? It feels like it's filling a gap.
It absolutely is. A big one. Château-core is like this potent antidote to our digital age.
Ah.
Screens everywhere, algorithms, fleeting online stuff. There's this real palpable yearning for something tangible.
Something historical, authentic.
Exactly. Enduring. This lets us reimagine the past personally, empoweringly. It captures a mood, a moment, that whisper of magic, without the homework of historical accuracy.
Laughs. Leave that to the archives.
Right. It's psychological comfort, stability, romance in this crazy fast world. An aesthetic sanctuary, maybe?
I totally see that. It's the feeling, not the facts. That psychological pull, stability, romance. It's such a counter-narrative to modern life. A breath of fresh, ancient air. Escapism you can wear.
And for those who like, hard evidence, the numbers are pretty definitive.
Okay, data time.
Pinterest.
Yeah.
Widely seen as the arbiter of emerging aesthetics, right? Because people plan their aspirations there before things fully hit.
True, they spot trends early.
Well, they've officially crowned Castlecore a defining trend for 2025. The numbers don't lie.
All right, hit us with the numbers. What specific things are catching people's eye in this Château-core world?
Okay, this is what's fascinating. It's the specifics. Searches for antique ruby rings up a massive 50%. Think symbolism? Weight.
Wow, a ruby ring. Very specific.
Then blue medieval dresses spiked 85%. People want those rich, regal colors for formal wear.
85%, okay.
And chainmail necklaces up 45%. Armor becoming delicate accessory.
Chainmail. Wild.
And the broader term, medieval core, which covers this, up a huge 110% year over year.
Whoa. Okay, that's not just a little blip. That's a surge. People are actively looking for these pieces.
Precisely. It shows it's not just a fleeting fashion thing. It's becoming a curated lifestyle choice. An invitation to inhabit that world, style yourself like you preside over a manor.
Like you own the castle.
Exactly. That surge in specific historical terms on Pinterest, it points to a big shift in aspiration. People want escapism, yes, but also enduring grandeur in our ephemeral world.
It anchors you.
It anchors you. It's that yearning for authenticity and stability made tangible.
So, stepping back, why now? Why 2025 for this medieval fascination? It feels like the zeitgeist just clicked.
It's the zeitgeist, plain and simple. Like, pop culture has been brewing this potion for years, creating this powerful feedback loop.
Ah, the slow burn.
Exactly. You can trace it. On screen, think House of the Dragon. Dragons, yes, but the fashion. Flowing gowns, embroidery.
Incredible visuals.
And Bridgerton, okay, technically Regency, but it nails that romantic, opulent period drama vibe. Vibrant colors, luxury,
Totally complements it.
and The Witcher.
Yeah.
Darker, richer, medieval fantasy aesthetics. These shows presented it all with such sartorial splendor, they've undeniably inspired people to rethink their wardrobes.
Made grandeur cool again, beyond just history.
Spot on.
And it's not just screens, right? Books have played a massive role, too.
Oh, absolutely. Huge surge in fantasy novels. Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses series is a prime example. Rich medieval-inspired settings, ceremony, dress,
Kotar is huge.
and then the absolute explosion of book talk, that community on TikTok. It's massively amplified this fascination with medieval-inspired worlds.
Turning fictional aesthetics into real-world inspiration.
Exactly. It laid the groundwork. Shows how deeply our entertainment and our style choices are linked now.
And designers, of course, they're always listening. They've jumped on this with real conviction, strategically claiming their thrones, you might say.
Definitely. And heritage brands are innovating, not just copying. They're drawing from their archives, but making it modern. These are not costumes. It's couture.
Okay, tell us who's leading this charge. What are the big statements?
Well, Dior's Cruise 2025 collection was a masterclass. Presented at Drummond Castle Gardens in Scotland. Perfect venue choice.
Setting the stage, literally.
And the collection, temporal translation, flowing gowns, intricate embroidery, luxury fabrics evoking royal courts, but with modern shapes. It just underscores Dior's ability to interpret and elevate a trend. Pure vision.
They nailed it. What about something trickier like chainmail? Feels very functional armor. How do you make that fashion?
Paco Rabanne's Julien Dosena. He's brilliantly reimagined it, taken this tough material and made it chic, almost delicate.
Really? How?
For spring-summer 2025, he wove it into handbags, dresses, but using fine, shimmering metals that drape softly. It's luxurious, striking, not clunky, a total recontextualization.
So adornment, not armor. Fascinating.
Precisely. And then you have Lanvin, their autumn-winter 2025 Peter Copping's debut. Beautiful, fluid draperies, rich embroideries nodding to history, continuing the house legacy, but feeling fresh, romantic.
It seems like a sophisticated blend then, history and innovation.
Exactly. Proving grandeur can be cutting edge.
Okay, let's get into the specifics, the visual elements. Because the 2025 Runways, definitely marked by Château-core, it's a visual feast, right? Texture, tone, form. What are the key ingredients?
Foundationally, it's the fabrics. Rich, sumptuous materials are back. Velvet with that deep pile. Brocade, thick, patterned, intricate lace.
Tactile.
They're chosen strategically. For texture, depth, that unmistakable signal of luxury. Anything less just wouldn't work. It's a deliberate move away from minimalist fabrics.
Okay, so for you listening, how do you bring that richness in without looking like you raided a costume closet?
Easy ways in. Pair of velvet blazer with tailored trousers, instant elevation.
Right.
Or a statement brocade jacket, maybe a flowing cape over a modern dress.
Cape? Okay.
Even small things, velvet handbag, lace trim on a blouse. It introduces that richness subtly.
And the colors, they feel like a statement too. Deep burgundies, forest greens, sapphire blues, shimmering golds, almost candlelit quality.
It's a decisive rejection of those muted, quiet luxury neutrals.
Right, no more beige.
Laughs. Well, less dominant beige, maybe. This is a return to overt opulence, drama. Think Gucci's deep reds, Dior's jewel tones. They're bold.
So how do you wear those powerful colors without feeling overwhelmed?
For evening, a monochromatic gown and a strong jewel tone sapphire, emerald. Big impact. For day, use accessories. A burgundy scarf, forest green bag, even nail polish. One statement piece in that color works wonders with neutrals.
Okay, accessories. This feels like where Château-core really shines, right? The details that tell the story.
Absolutely. Take chainmail again.
Yep.
Armor turned into delicate, formidable jewelry. Necklaces, earrings. Paco Rabanne really led this. It subverts its whole original purpose. Then statement rings. Oversized gemstones, ruby, emerald, amethyst, evoking royal signets. And remember those Pinterest searches? Antique ruby rings up 50%. People want these symbols.
They're literally searching for signet vibes. What about actual crowns? Are we wearing tiaras now?
Laughs. Maybe not to the supermarket. But crowns and tiaras are making a playful comeback. Styled modernly, though, for whimsy, regality, maybe a party,
A touch of fun.
and even the humble bonnet, reimagined as a chic headpiece. These accessories translate the historical vibe into something wearable, high fashion, personal.
Okay, so for you wanting to try this regal flair,
Add chainmail earrings to a simple outfit, black dress, white shirt, creates an edge. Wear one big gemstone ring as a focal point, feeling adventurous. Try a design bonnet or jeweled hair clip. It's about careful curation.
beyond the details, what about the overall shapes, the silhouettes? I picture flowing gowns, capes.
Spot on. Flowing gowns with movement, dramatic capes adding gravitas, structured corsets creating that powerful hourglass. Those are key.
And sleeves.
Oh yeah. Exaggerated sleeves are back. Puffed sleeves for drama. Elegant bell or Juliet sleeves fitted then flaring out. Think Dior, White Project, Elie Saab.
And lots of detail work.
Absolutely. Gothic embroidery for dark romance. Medieval-inspired prints. Oversized belts cinching the waist. Lace trims, ornate buckles. Lanvin's great with embroidery. Dior uses these details beautifully.
So the shapes are dramatic but still flattering, commanding presence, artistic flair.
Exactly. Impactful but also enhancing the form. So, for you, layer a cape velvet, brocade over a modern dress, or separates. Instant transformation.
Okay.
Try a Gothic corset with tailored trousers. That contrast is really fresh. Look for dresses with intricate embroidery, or use a big ornate belt to define a flowing shape. Create that grand yet refined look.
Now, this isn't just staying on the catwalk, is it? Château-core is hitting street style, social media. It feels more accessible, like the people's aesthetic.
That's a really important point. TikTok especially is like an incubator for these things. Influencers are showing how to weave medieval bits into daily outfits. Practical ways in, proving you don't need an actual castle.
Showing real, wearable stuff, not just fantasy looks.
Exactly. Viral examples everywhere. A velvet cape with jeans and boots. A chainmail choker with a plain white tee elevating the casual.
Yeah.
It shows the adaptability.
Yeah.
There was even that ex-post from at Le Jours de Mai calling it the aesthetic for 2025, highlighting the Gothic romance, the fantasy blend. That social media buzz is crucial for longevity. It makes it feel organic, inclusive.
And celebrities, naturally, are amplifying it, bringing it mainstream.
Definitely. Look at Chappell Roan. Her theatrical style fits perfectly. Of luminous tulle skirts, dramatic capes. She even wore full armor at the VMAs.
Oh, that's a statement.
Huge statement. Shows the potential for bold expression. And then globally, someone like BTS's Jin, he's a Gucci ambassador, front row fixture. He elevates anything he touches.
Right. His curated Gucci looks often have that maximalist historical luxury feel.
Precisely. He demonstrates that power of celebrity endorsement, taking niche trends wide.
So it's really resonating everywhere. Which brings us to the luxury market. It seems like Château-core is a perfect fit there, almost tailor-made.
It's a perfect synergy, truly. Luxury brands thrive on narratives, heritage, craftsmanship, creation.
Right, the story matters.
And Château-core provides this incredibly rich canvas. They can dive into archives, reinterpret historical techniques with modern innovation, blend old artistry with new tech.
Got examples?
Think Burberry revitalizing trench coats with hidden embroidery, maybe altering the drape for a more regal feel. Or Hermès exploring 3D printed leather mimicking tapestry patterns or aged parchment.
Wow. Heritage meets innovation.
Exactly. Creates pieces feeling both historic and forward-thinking.
And it connects with sustainable luxury, too, surprisingly.
It really does. Many designers are using regenerative materials, artisanal techniques focused on longevity, ethical production, not fast fashion. Creating timeless pieces meant to last generations. That resonates with conscious consumers who value the story, the integrity, the footprint behind the purchase. Investing in quality.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting and refreshing. Inclusivity. High fashion can often feel exclusive, but this seems different.
That is its distinguishing feature, and maybe its most compelling appeal. Unlike aesthetics dictating a specific body type, age, or status, Château-core genuinely invites broad participation. It's an adaptable vibe, not a rigid uniform.
So anyone can play.
Exactly. Whether you channel a chatelaine in a full gown for an event or just add a medieval-style brooch to your blazer for every day. It prioritizes attitude, personal interpretation, empowerment over strict rules.
So it's less about looking historically accurate and more about capturing a spirit.
Precisely. The sentiment is powerful. It's not about looking like you stepped out of a history book. It's about feeling like you own the castle.
I love that, feeling like you own the castle.
It encapsulates that core appeal. Personal empowerment, self-perception, agency. And this broad appeal lets luxury brands reach a wider audience while still keeping that aspirational allure. It democratizes grandeur.
But while it's captivating, there's a risk, right? It's
Yeah.
inherently theatrical. How do you avoid tipping over into, well, costume, looking like you're off to a Renaissance fair?
That's the main risk, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A valid concern. Full head-to-toe medieval, great for themed events, maybe jarring for the office. It raises questions of wearability, practicality.
Right.
The challenge is drawing inspiration without just copying. Keep it fashion-forward, not so historically accurate becomes impractical. An echo, not a mirror image.
So for someone trying it, how do you strike that balance? Grandeur, but still chic and modern.
The key strategy, balance. Harmonize those dramatic historical pieces with modern elements. Pair one singular dramatic item with contemporary clothes to ground the look.
Grounding is key.
Yes, like that Gothic corset structured, maybe embroidered with sleek tailored trousers. Fresh, sophisticated contrast between eras.
That makes sense. The unexpected mix. What about something easier?
For casual impact,
Yeah.
a velvet cloak over jeans and a simple top instantly elevates it. Or, like we said, a delicate chainmail choker or a big antique-style ring with a white tee and denim. Subtle integration.
Adding edge without overwhelming.
Exactly. Strategic juxtaposition. Nod to the trend, embrace its spirit without being consumed by it. Be inspired, not transformed into a historical figure.
And this influence, it's going beyond clothes, isn't it? Into home decor, beauty, making it a real lifestyle trend, not just fashion.
And that cross-pollination is a huge sign of deep cultural penetration and likely longevity. When aesthetic shows up in our homes, our makeup, our hair, it's more than fleeting. It's a deeper shift.
So what are we seeing in home decor? Miniature castles.
Laughs,
Mm.
not quite, but definitely castle-inspired elements. Renewed interest in ornate mirrors, gilded, carved, rich tapestries for warmth, texture, story. Pinterest shows more searches for castle house plans.
Yep.
People want to live this narrative. And sources confirm more neo-Gothic, Rococo furniture available. People want their own private, curated castle space.
Extending it beyond the self into the environment. Fascinating. And beauty. How does Château-core translate there?
It definitely influences beauty. Dramatic, but refined. Bold lips are big, especially that sophisticated dark cherry red, predicted to be everywhere. Makeup, menus, mood boards. Alluring, a bit mysterious.
Dark cherry red. Got it.
And hair. Intricate braids are back. Think medieval royalty, elaborate updos with pearls or ribbons, complex double braids, styles woven with jewelry, regal elegance, detailed artistry.
Completing the look head to toe.
Exactly. An entire immersive persona.
The versatility here really is a strength. Minimalist, maximalist, somewhere between. You can adapt it. It encourages experimenting, which is great.
Definitely. And if you're new to it, our advice is genuinely start small, subtle things, those chainmail earrings, a velvet scarf in a jewel tone. Adds texture, color, without a total overhaul.
Easy entry points.
Right. For a bolder statement, invest in one key piece, a brocade jacket, a flowing cape, ideal for a dramatic entrance, a signature item.
So it's not all or nothing. You can dip a toe in.
Exactly. And mix high and low. That thrift store, find with medieval vibes, a vintage jacket, ornate brooch paired with a designer bag or sleek trousers, it works beautifully.
It's democratic that way, too.
It is. The core principle, remember, is attitude and personal interpretation, not rigid rules. Engage on your own terms. Feel majestic in your way.
And for practical inspiration, besides this deep dive, of course, where should you look?
Contemporary runways, absolutely. Dior's Cruise 2025 is a great visual guide for blending opulence and wearability. And social media, TikTok, X, influencers show real-world styling constantly.
How they mix historical pieces with modern flair.
Exactly. How they make it work for every day, for events. See how they pair fabrics, use accessories as focal points.
So the ultimate message is, wear it, however you interpret it, with confidence. Like you're ruling the runway.
Or the castle.
Or the castle, indeed. Confidence is key.
The best crown jewel.
So as we move through 2025, Château-core isn't fading. That blend of nostalgia, craftsmanship, fantasy, it resonates. People want meaning, narrative in their style. It's about identity.
And unlike those quick micro-trends, this has staying power. Deep cultural roots, broad application fashion, home. The big luxury brands are still investing heavily.
Right. You mentioned Dior's strong performance.
Exactly. Their success, especially beauty and market share, benefits from these Château-core influences. It shows brands are strategically aligned and benefiting. This ensures it keeps evolving, stays prominent.
So whether you're off to a gala, just doing your daily thing, decorating your space, picking a nail polish, maybe channel a little inner royalty.
Why not?
Château-core isn't just fashion. It's about infusing life with some magic, grandeur, story. And honestly, in 2025, who couldn't use a bit more enchantment?
The question isn't really if Château-core will reign. I think the only real question left for you is, are you prepared to claim your throne?